After years of rebuilding her life and experiencing heartbreak, Amy Roloff thought she had finally found her happily ever after with Chris Marek. However, a storm was subtly building beneath the facade of public appearances and smiles. When Chris's ex-wife returned to the public eye with secrets and confessions that gave Amy a completely different impression of the guy she believed to know, the first fractures developed. Rumors of treachery started to spread, upending Amy's confidence at its core. Another significant life event occurred while she was still processing these revelations. Amy decided to sell her cherished home, which was replete with memories of her family and her trip, for an incredible $2.1 million. The public perceived it as a new beginning. Hello everyone. Hope you are well. Please do subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. Let's dive into the latest news. However, things were much more convoluted behind closed doors. Not long after, the unimaginable occurred. Once the representation of Amy's second chance at love, Chris Marek filed for divorce. When word got out that Chris wasn't simply leaving, but was getting ready to get married again, the betrayal became much more painful. The fans were taken aback. Who was this unidentified woman? Did she have any connection to his past? Or was this all part of Chris's plan? Amy experienced heartache, betrayal, and the agonizing process of rebuilding as if history were being repeated. For the Roloff family, it was just another tabloid headline. Another chapter of chaos in a tale that had been watched for years by millions of spectators. Amy was ultimately left with unanswered questions. Was her marriage really real? Was Chris truly in love? Or did she simply serve as a stepping stone to another person? The world is watching Amy decide whether to rise stronger from the ashes. And one thing is for sure, the Roloff drama is far from over, or permanently avoid the limelight. Amy Roloff has spent a large portion of her life in the public glare. Fans believe they were familiar with her story from Little People, Big World to her own quest for love. However, even the most devoted watchers are in disbelief at what has just happened. Amy took a risk with Chris Marek following her divorce from Matt Roloff. He was depicted for years as her pillar of support, the one who gave her the opportunity to start over, laugh again, and fall in love. Their union was hailed as evidence that sadness might lead to happiness. However, as every viewer of reality TV is aware, the scandal is hidden beneath the smiles. It began with murmurs. Chris's ex-wife reappeared and revealed shocking details about their history. Her implication that the man Amy believed to be her acquaintance might not have been totally honest rocked her world. Fans started questioning, almost away, what was he concealing from Amy if he had secrets from his ex-wife? Amid all of this chaos, Amy made a decision that many found shocking. She made an incredible $2.1 million when she sold her house, which was a place where she had many memories of growing her family and creating her life. It appeared to be a new beginning to some. Others, however, were unable to ignore the timing. Was it time to move on? Or was Amy silently bracing herself for a tempest she already anticipated? The betrayal then went further than anyone could have predicted. Chris Marek submitted a divorce petition. The man Amy had trusted, loved, and stood up for walked away. However, the tale did not stop there. Rumors surfaced very immediately that Chris was planning to be married again, rather than simply dissolving the marriage. The internet was ablaze with rumors. The mystery woman was who? Was she a former acquaintance of his? Or worse, was she always in Amy's sphere of influence? Fans saw this as a sad reenactment of Amy's first marriage falling apart in the spotlight. Amy must have felt as though everything had fallen apart all over again, betrayed by trust as well as by love. After years of strife and media attention, the Roloff family is now embroiled in yet another scandal. Amy's supporters applaud her for her fortitude and tenacity, but there are still questions. Did she ever get married? Was Chris merely plotting his next chapter with someone else while participating in a fantasy romance? Most importantly, will Amy eventually step down from the spotlight she has endured for so long? Or will she rise once more and transform pain into empowerment? There's no denying that this is more than just a reality show plot. It's true, it's uncooked, and the kind of betrayal that causes permanent wounds. Fairy stories don't finish with a happily ever after in the Roloff's world. Instead, they conclude with headlines. Amy Roloff had previously experienced heartbreak. Amy found herself beginning anew, not only as a woman, but also as a mother, a grandmother, and a public figure whose life had always been in the spotlight after her decades-long marriage to Matt Roloff ended. Then Chris Marek arrived. Charming, dependable, and eager to enter Amy's world with patience and affection. He seemed like a breath of fresh air to admirers. Viewers were inspired to believe in second chances by their shared laughter, adventures, and tender moments. Like a contemporary fairy tale, their love story was based on little people, big world. Everything appeared to indicate this is Amy's happily ever after, from romantic vacations to a gorgeous wedding. For Amy, Chris was more than simply a romantic companion. He was evidence that love could rekindle even in the wake of tragedy. She believed in the life they were creating together, supported him, and trusted him. However, as every fairy tale reminds us, sometimes the exterior does not always match the interior. And soon, the idyllic romance started to show signs of weakness. The past showed up just when it appeared that Amy's new chapter was finally safe. Suddenly, Chris Marek's ex-wife, whom the public hardly knew, came forward. She also didn't arrive in silence. She brought memories, secrets, and a tale that would completely undermine Amy's faith. Chris's ex gave Amy a completely different impression of the man she believed she had married in interviews and rumors that caught on like wildfire. Narratives of unspoken promises, unspoken realities, and a side of Chris Amy had never witnessed. After celebrating their wedding, fans started to pose challenging queries such as, was Chris truly the ideal partner? Or was Amy falling for a staged illusion designed to fool the cameras? These disclosures were more than just rumors to Amy. They pierced the fantasy she had created with Chris like knives of uncertainty. Now, it seemed like there was a darkness behind every smile, every promise, and every kind remark. Amy had to face the unpleasant reality that her happily ever after might not have been based on love at all, but rather on truths that were just waiting to be revealed, while the world was still in shock over the ex-wife's disclosures. Amy Roloff made a choice that astounded viewers worldwide as rumors and information about Chris Marek circulated like wildfire. Her cherished house, where she brought up her kids, made many memories, and endured years of public scrutiny, sold for an incredible $2.1 million. It appeared to the outside world to be a daring move toward a new beginning. A fresh door opened and a chapter closed. Amy, however, saw it as more than a simple real estate deal. In a time when control seemed to be evaporating, it was a means of regaining control over her life through the metaphorical shedding of the past. Some questioned whether Amy was already aware of the storm that was building in her personal life, or if this move was about moving on. Was heartbreak something she was bracing herself for before it ever happened? Amy was selling her house, but she was also selling memories, trust, and maybe even the false sense of the life she believed she had created with Chris. She had no idea that the greatest heartbreak was still to come. Amy Roloff filed for divorce from Chris Marek, the man she trusted with her future and her heart. It was a thunderclap of news. After celebrating their union, fans were left in shock. How could a seemingly loving marriage end up disintegrating so fast? However, the tale did not stop there. There were rumors that Chris was not only divorcing, but also planned to be married again. One more female, one more chapter. Nearly instantly, questions began to pour in. Who is this mysterious woman? How long had it been planned? And most all, was Amy merely a stepping stone to Chris's next existence? Or did he ever truly love her? Amy was more than just devastated by the treachery. It was a public humiliation that was shown on reality TV, with everyone watching her every move. What began as a dream wedding turned into a sobering lesson about love, trust, and the harsh truth that sometimes the person you trust the most can be the one who destroy you. Fans and the Roloff family are still in disbelief at Marek's stunning divorce announcement. Once praised for her tenacity and second-chance romance, Amy Roloff is currently dealing with both private and public heartbreak. Although her fans are supporting her and applauding her bravery and determination, there are still unanswered questions. Was her marriage really real? Was it all a staged illusion, or did Chris really adore her? The headlines are just one more chapter in the Roloff family story, which is full of highs and lows, love and treachery. And because it's so real, this sorrow is all the more agonizing for the followers who have followed Amy's path for years. Amy Roloff is undoubtedly a warrior, though. The marriage might end, the house might be sold, and the treachery might be made public. However, the tale is far from over. Will Amy overcome all obstacles and take back her life and story? Or will this heartache drive her farther away from the limelight that she has so long inhabited? Time will tell, and the entire globe will be observing at every turn. Play the outro song and then prompt them to subscribe or engage. Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you think Amy's fairy tale will end here, or will she find love again? Let us know in the comments. And stay tuned by subscribe to our channel to get more updates like this. Thank you, bye guys.